Howdy folks, Casey LaCourse coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada with another video showcase of Hearts of the West. It is a special video showcase this week because we are celebrating Cowboy Poetry Week, and we got 7 performers, 7 showcases, 7 different days, and I'm going to post a new one every single day. And I'm going to start reciting off with a friend of mine. His name is John Pelham, Cowboys and Cattle. He is a Will Rogers Medallion Award-winning cowboy author. And the title of this poem is The Greatest Outdoor Show on Earth by Mr. John Pelham. You call yourself the world's greatest anything, sure as shooting, somebody's going to call your bluff, and you sure better be ready and willing to step up and show your stuff. But those folks up in Calgary are right up there with that boast. The rodeo's sure enough a good one, I'd say better than most. The rodeo brings in cowboys and cowgirls from places far and wide. They compete for big bucks. And the biggest reward of all? Cowboy pride. The pride that goes with beating the best, closing in on the NFR, showing your pards and your fans that you're among the best there are. The chuck wagon races are a big part of the show. Fast and reckless, they fairly fly. And at the finish line, lots of paper dough. As great as it is, the rodeo is only part of the greatest outdoor show. There's fun, food, rides, and stuff to see and buy on the Midway Exhibit Hall and the expanded casino. Earl's deep-fried corny dog's the biggest and best you ever ate. He's retiring after this year's show. If you missed it, well, you're just too late. So if you're ever up Alberta way, sometimes around the middle of July, drop on by Calgary, eh? They call it the greatest outdoor show on earth, and mostly, them Canucks don't lie. All right, Mr. Pelham, thank you very much. We enjoyed that. Now, let's get to Tuesday's showcase. It is with Mr. Rex Rideout. He is a time traveler, and I'll tell you, he's something. He is multi-talented, and he can play just about any instrument there is, and he is also a historian. He knows so many interesting facts about history. He's fascinating. So let's get right to it. Rex, it is your showcase, brother. Take it and own it. See you, folks.
Hi, I'm Rex Rideout. I do the music of the Old West. I'd like to do a poem by Jack Thorpe that he called Frijoles Beanses. It's about the lowly Frijoles bean. And I wanted to sing it, so I put it to the tune of Casey Jones, more or less. Casey Jones and Frijoles Beanses were both written around 1915, which happens to be about the same time that this Washburn guitar banjo was built. So they go together. Strongest chips and water, boiled you up in water made of snow, eaten you above the Arctic Circle and chewed on you in southern Mexico. In the campfire, on the stove, or in the oven, or buried in the ashes overnight, you saved my life on more than one occasion. Oh, Frijoles bean, a simple album sight. Of course you know, as far as one suggestion is concerned, you'd ever break a plum in two without a single moment's hesitation, at least that's the reputation given you. So here's to your health, you little brown Frijoles, your health a pledge, and by you always stand. You're eaten by the rich and by the lowly, you're an outlaw product of a western land. About you such a savor, such a muchness, such a taste that you have got a particularly satisfying flavor when you add some chili to the pot. Then goodbye, my little part, I hate to leave you. You've been with me on many a long hike. I'll eat the rest of you that's in the skillet, then saddle up a buck and hit the pike. Frijoles Beanses.
Howdy folks, Casey LaCourse here. I've got a small audio portion that I'd like to read to you that Rex Rideout has provided. A little inside information, a backstory on when Bob got throwed. When Bob Got Throwed first appears in John Lomax's lesser-known book, Songs of the Cattle Trail and Cow Camp, The Macmillan Company, 1919. 2 years later, Jack Thorpe published his second edition of Songs of the Cowboys, Houghton Mifflin Company, 1921. Rex recited from the Thorpe version. It never again appeared in early cowboy poetry collections and anthologies. It is interesting that it never again appeared in any of Lomax's numerous publications. It is listed in recent publications, but with no further information as to its origin. The poem has the trappings of being written in the saddle, and over almost a century, it is interesting that no one has ever slapped their brand on it. Thank you, Rex. I appreciate your historical background. Now let's get on with the showcase.
That time when Bob got throwed, I thought I sure would bust. I'd like to die to laughing to see him chewing dust. He crawled on that pinto bronc and hit him with a quirt. The next thing he knew, he was wallowing in the dirt. Yes, it might have killed him. I heard the hard ground pop. But to see if he was injured, you bet I didn't stop. I just rolled on the ground and began to kick and yell. It like to tickled me to death to see how hard he fell. 'Tweren't more than a week ago that I myself got throwed, but that was from a meaner hoss than old Bob ever rode. Do you reckon Bob looked sad and said, "I hope that you ain't hurt"? No, he just laughed and laughed to see me chewing dirt. So I've been praying ever since for his hoss to turn his pack. And when he done it, I'd have laughed if it had broke his back. So I was still howling when Bob, he got up lame. He seen his horse had run clear off, and so for me he came. He first chucked sand into my eyes, with a rock he rubbed my head, and then he twisted both my arms. "Now go fetch that hoss," he said. So I went and fetched him back, but I was feeling good all day, for I sure enough do love to see a fella get throwed that way. I'm going to do the Santa Fe Trail. It started as a poem written by James Grafton Rogers, who at one time was the mayor of Georgetown, Colorado. Somebody put it to music and it became one of the most beloved cowboy songs. Mark Gardner sang it very nicely on our Frontier Favorites CD way back when. I'm going to play it on this Lionel Healy banjo made around 1885. Say, part of you sighted a schooner heading the Santa Fe Trail. They made it here Monday or sooner, with a water keg roped on the tail, with Daddy and Ma on the mule seat, and somewhere around on the way, a tow-headed gal on a pinto, longside of the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho! Alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. I seen her right down the Arroyos, way back in the Arkansas sand, with a smile like an acre of sunflowers and a little brown quart in her hand. She straddled the pinto so airy and rode like she carried the mail, and her eyes near set fire to the prairie alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. Oh, alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. I know a gal down on the border that I'd ride to El Paso to sight. I'm acquainted with the high stepping order, and I sometimes kiss some gals goodnight. But Lord, they're all fluffles and beaten, or afternoon tea by the pail, compared to the kind of stampeding to a gal who's pretty wide. It's closer from hell to Hilary than it is on the Santa Fe ride. But I guess I'll make cedars by sundown and camping maybe in a swale. I'll come on a gal in a pinto alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. Yo-ho, alongside of the Santa Fe Trail. The Santa Fe Trail by James Grafton Rogers. And this year happens to be the bicentennial of the opening of the Santa Fe Trail back in 1821.